welcome. So a few ideas have kind of converged in my mind to form this new idea about a cluttered self. And so I thought we would take a little bit of time to kind of figure out what that is, and maybe you'll see if you can relate to this as well. So the few ideas that have kind of combined together in my head came from different sources. And one of those was a quote of some sort where it was talking about how physical clutter is the evidence of something that you're trying to avoid or ignore or all those sort of things. So that was kind of interesting to me. And I saw that, I want to say like a year ago, and I kind of looked at it and I kind of winced because I was like, it's talking about me and I don't want to look at it. I can relate, but then I kind of ignored it because I didn't want to see it anymore. I didn't want to be presented with that idea. I wasn't ready yet. And then I went into the hall closet, I opened the door, and out come pouring these bags, these reusable bags that have not been organized, that have just literally been tossed in there, stuffed in there. I was thinking as I was putting the bags away, each one of those bags represents like ideas that we get in our mind. So maybe we're getting ideas from the outside world, or we're thinking ideas, and it's just ideas, facts, all this information that's coming in. And it's just sitting there, like these bags, they're just growing. They're not getting dealt with. And so there is that clutter that is all over the place, physically in our houses or in our minds, because they're just accumulating. So we're accumulating these things and we're maybe not dealing with them. So going back to that quote from wherever I read it, it was Pinterest. I didn't want to admit it again. Gosh dang it, I'm always on Pinterest apparently. Anyway, it's as I was putting away the bags, I also realized that I might have bags in that closet that are broken, that are ripped, that are not useful at all, that are not going to do what they need to do, they're not beneficial, and yet I just stuff them into the closet and I'm not getting rid of them. Just like bad ideas or bad thoughts or bad feelings, these things just keep accumulating and they're not getting dealt with because there's no looking in to the brain and organizing it. It's just there's more, just bring it all in. And even thinking about the organization of it. So that's what I was doing. I was organizing them, but again, I wasn't really analyzing each bag. And so yes, now it's all organized, but still I haven't analyzed the bags. Are they worthy to be kept? And so there's two different pieces then. Yes, organization is a piece, but then you also need to whittle down and narrow down all the things that are not useful. And then the third idea that kind of came together was I saw this documentary on Netflix called Minimalism. And while there's some extreme cases of minimalism in that I would never be able to follow, there are elements within that I can take and apply to my life. And so again, that minimalism idea, as far as really just analyzing and bringing in the things that are most important and that are going to be the most valuable and that are going to be the most helpful. So like checking a lot of different boxes there as far as what do I need to spend my time on and bring into my brain, and not just bring in anything, not just bring in any ideas and anybody's opinion and anybody's thoughts and feelings. So I was reading something that was talking about the physical clutter, and I was again looking at those parallels, physical clutter and also mental clutter, and I realized that there were some that would work for both. These are things that might be going on. These are things that I need to consider are going on. Many of us shop to escape our feelings. The longer you keep something, the more attached you become. The best way to clear clutter is to reduce what you bring in. And your stuff is getting in the way of the best stuff. You can see when you're not being cognizant, you're not being aware, you're not thinking through the things that are coming into your life, into your mind, then is it really adding more to your experience? Is it really adding more to yourself? And I can say I'm looking at the stuff that I have, I'm looking at the stuff that I have, and the answer would be no, it's not adding, it's adding stuff like number wise to my life, but it's not adding more to the quality of my life. In fact, having the more you think is adding to a positive effect, but really the more is just having a negative effect. That's at least what I'm seeing in my life. So another thing that kind of added to this whole idea, it's like I was inundated with all these things happening all at once. And maybe it's just because I was ready to hear it. My mind was ready. I was ready to listen to what the world has been telling me probably for a long time, but I just haven't been listening. So being a teacher, every year I get a planner. In this particular planner, every page had a different quote. On one of the weeks, this happened to be the quote. Certain things catch your eye, but pursue only those that capture the heart. And I find that for me, this is definitely a difficult thing because there's a lot of things that catch my eye, in all the different ways. And yet I'm not really evaluating it as far as what is it really important to me? Is it really going to impact me as a person? Is it going to be valuable to me? Quality. I think that's a really good word to describe the quality that it's going to bring to me and to others. Because right now it's just a possible quality that it might have, and not saying that those things should never come into my life, into my brain, but being a little bit discerning. That's the word, discerning. Discerning what is going to be something that I want to stay in my brain. Because like I read in one of those statements, one of those truths was the longer that you have it, the harder it is to get rid of it. So I might have these things that I've accumulated and not really analyzed and thought through. And because it's something I've held on to without really taking the time to think through it, it might become a part of me when it shouldn't be a part of me. Or it might be a part of my house when it shouldn't be. It doesn't need to be there. It's not adding any benefit. All right, so what? Now that we have this information, what do we do? What do we do about it? And it always goes back, it seems to always go back to the same answer every single time. And that is stop. Stop what you're doing. Stop doing that. Stop bringing stuff in and think about it. Stop and think. Okay, yes, so something new comes into your view. Don't just like, okay, thanks, gonna just toss it in there. Just think about it a little bit before you say, okay, yep, I'm gonna keep that in my brain. It might be something good that you throw away sometimes. I think that's what I worry about. What if it's something that's gonna be useful later and I just don't know? And I think, I'm just making a guess here. If it was something valuable, then it will come back again. I mean, just like this idea that I'm talking to you right now, it was something that I had accumulated a long time ago, and I wasn't even ready to hear it, but yet here I am bringing it in. But it's like a constant, just like bringing it in, but I'm not internalizing it, bringing it in, but I'm not gonna think about it. Just give it to me right now. Did it do me any good? No, it did not. And so stopping thinking about it, oh, that sounded like I was, okay, two different things. Stop, then think about it. And I think just in general, what I'm finding is that for a forward momentum to happen with these things that are very hard, you have to tie it into your identity. It can't be just because Jenny has told you you need to do it, so therefore you're going to do it. It may, like, you may do it for a little bit, but then you'll go back to your old ways because somebody told you to do it. What it needs to be is coming from within. So finding a reason yourself that's tied to you and what you want for yourself and your identity and who you are as a person, if you can tie it to that, then that is the foundation that you can build off of. Because if you are going to build off somebody else's foundation and somebody else's reasons, then it's not going to go anywhere. You might have a single story building, but if you build it off of yourself, you will have a skyscraper. And that's what we're aiming for. We're aiming for that deep understanding of ourselves, not that shallow understanding that we get from others. I was thinking about what is my reason then. Now I'm in that right mind frame. My mindset is ready to take it on. But why? What is my reason now? And I feel like with my age, and I'm, at that point in my life where I've been there, I've done that. I have tried bringing in and finding that new interesting thing that's going to spark, and nothing has really satisfied that hunger. It just keeps searching for more new and more information and keep going and asking more people things, and nothing is quenching that thirst. And I feel like if I'm going to do something different, that means that I got to stop going outward. I need to stop going to the outside to look for the answers. I need to look from within to find these answers. That is the idea of the cluttered self, the cluttered mind. I kind of like saying the word self because it kind of is on brand. We're trying to think about ourself and our identity, and so everything is going to be self. So I'd be interested to hear, what are your thoughts? And is this something you experience as well? Are you searching for the things that keep catching your eye? And I'm going to leave you with this. It was an idea from the minimalism documentary. And there was a gentleman there that had spoken about this. I think, well, he's obviously gone through this part of his journey already, so he knows what it's going to feel like. And so he says that sacrifice, he uses the word sacrifice, and I think it's purposeful he uses that word. But what are you really sacrificing? You're sacrificing the things that don't really matter. And so when you think about it that way, then it seems like a no-brainer. Well, of course, we don't care about the things that don't matter, but it's still going to feel like a sacrifice. It's going to be rough. It's not going to feel good at first because it's not going to feel natural. And so I encourage you, though, in your journey, as you get rid of the clutter, if it's the physical clutter in your house, or if you start going through the clutter in your mind, you're sacrificing things that are not valuable. And so that's all that we have for our video today. I hope that you join me next time when we look at something different. And with that, I will say goodbye.